Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today is Wednesday, March 26, 2014. I'm speaking with Mr. Hasan Mahmoud. This interview is being conducted on Long Island. Mr. Mahmoud, what's your desh?
Bangladesh.
And?
You mean village?
Okay.
It's a deep village in Bogura district.
Bogura district.
My village is Kundogram.
Kundogram. Very nice name. So, how far is it from any nearby big city, big town?
The nearest city is Bogura.
Bogura. How far?
About 10 miles.
So, how you used to, what's the communication?
The communication is through train. The railway station is 1 mile away from our village, and there are 3 more stations to reach Bogura.
Okay, so it's mainly through station.
Yeah.
So how big is the village? How big or small?
The village is quite big. We have about 55 paras.
Oh, 55 paras.
Yes. Once I heard, if I'm not wrong, once it was the biggest village in Bangladesh.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. So is it a mixed village or mostly all Muslim or Hindu-Muslim mixed?
There are Hindus.
So did you go to school there?
No, my father was in government service, so he was transferred often.
Okay.
But my upbringing mostly was in Natur.
Natur. That's also
Natur, yes.
not far. It's
it's in Rajshahi. Natur of Rani Bhabani.
Yeah. So tell me about your village. How was who used to live in your home when what you called home?
Probably I can give you a better and more clear picture about Natur. It is the same story,
okay.
but I am experienced in Natur. When I was growing up, that was in late 50s. It was about, say, 70% Hindus.
In Natur?
In Natur.
Okay.
How can I say that? Because in our country, in our class, we were 30 people, 30 students. Only 5 were Muslims.
Okay. So you went to school in Natur?
Yes.
What was the name of your school?
Maharaj Jagadindranath High School. Jagadindranath is a disciple of Rani Bhabani.
Oh, that's right. The famous one.
Yeah.
So how long did you study? How many high school?
No, that is the critical time when a boy becomes a boy. I was there for 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so tell me, so how did you go to school? You used to live nearby?
Yes, nearby. On foot.
On foot.
Everybody on foot.
On foot. Okay. So who was there in your family?
In my family, my brothers, sisters, my parents.
And your parents, your name of your parents?
Mahbubur Rahman.
Father?
And, yes, and mother is Mariam Begum.
Mariam Begum. And they were, both of them were in government service?
No. My mother was always a housewife.
Housewife and father. And how many? You had 4?
We are 7 brothers and sisters, including me.
You all first. So how was your school life like? I mean, when you went to school, how did it?
That was one of the best part of my whole life. We friends. I mean, no friend can be like that when we have childhood friends. In life we have many other friends, but none is like that. And mostly, as I said, mostly were Hindus. So it was only one group of students, us, of Hindus and Muslims, who organized the Milad and the Puja.
Okay.
Same.
So one is a Muslim festival, other is a Hindu festival.
Yes.
So it was so ecumenical, so
balanced, it was.
So as you grow up, so how do you see? Then you went into other places. You went to school for other places, and you went to college in Dhaka.
In Dhaka, yes, Dhaka College.
So how many generations, for example, you were at your ancestral village? Many generations?
Oh, yes. But in Natur, I was always going back to Natur. So I have seen the gradual changes in everything.
Okay.
In demography, from demography to electricity. I have, still, you can say virtually, I hail from Natur.
Okay. Yeah.
In the beginning, there was no electricity, there was no Pakka road. The only one car in late 50s was the government officer's car.
Okay.
And 75% of Hindus, all the businesses, sweet shops especially,
Mishti.
Hindus. And then, in front of my eyes, they started living.
Why?
At that tender age, I was only shocked because I was losing my friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And now I can, analyze it. Why those Hindus who did not leave for India in 47, they stayed back with the confidence that it will be a country where their rights will be preserved like any other because they are equal citizens.
Yeah.
But there was a communal riot at one time
In Natur.
in Natur. It was not very high violence. High violence was somewhere else, maybe in Parvutipur or Shandhar.
Okay.
But people got afraid. People got afraid.
Sure, it's
And
sort of
then,
terrorism.
then my friends left one after another, and then their parents talked to each other and ultimately felt unsafe. And when Ayub Khan came in 1958, 27th October,
You remember, okay.
Yes.
The day, yeah.
after that, the political atmosphere changed, and thugs joined politics, and they were nothing but gundas, cadres,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They wanted quick money, and Hindus were the easy prey,
Easy prey. Yeah.
right?
Did you see any did of course as you're young you'd not know, but how was the friends or your mind even at the tender age seeing your friends disappearing?
It was. I was broken. A little boy whom I will play with anymore, right? And when one leaves, the rest are there, but we all are so sad. We don't enjoy anymore.
Yeah. So these ruffians, thugs are coming into power.
Yeah.
There was no resistance from the Hindus?
No, that is the sad part of it. Even today. Even today, and I strongly feel that Hindus should stand up for
Of
themselves.
course, yes.
Nobody will protect you from outside.
But what about the politicians and others? They were not coming up with some sort of
No,
protection?
slowly, after Ayub Khan came, he made politics based on cadres. So whoever has the stronger cadre would win the election and would rule like a king, local king. And then one thing came, that is greed for Hindus' lands and Hindus' daughters.
So that means it was there were the reasons for families to be afraid of their daughters.
There are reasons. Yes, there are cases where Hindus' daughters were molested and there was no justice.
No repercussion. They're just doing this, and there is no thugs are doing this, and they are not.
They're not punished. They are saved by the political gurus. Right?
So then what happened as it continues? Do you remember what happened in 64 and 71?
65.
65.
India-Pakistan war.
Yeah, but before that there was in Dhaka and other places there was a big rioting called Hazrat Bal rioting.
Hazrat Bal,
but
yes.
it may not have
yes.
affected Natur.
No.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah.
They were. Hindu parents were far visioned. Some of them, they could realize from 1958 that the way politics is going, ultimately they will not be safe here.
But you're very kind saying that their vision true, but on the other hand, of course, life is more precious than property.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people have to survive first to think of the next step.
Yeah. True.
So what happened in 65?
65, when India-Pakistan
Pakistan
war
war.
broke out, Ayub Khan made the enemy property law.
Yeah.
Who is the enemy anyway?
Yeah.
They are Pakistanis, right?
Yeah,
That is such a
Yeah.
venomous,
No, I
venomous law, and still it's existing. I don't know what our governments are doing.
Yeah. So you are moving. So are you coming back to Natur sometimes?
All the time I go, yes, that's my pilgrim.
So you still have a house there, or you
No.
Friends.
Yeah.
Friends and
Yeah.
relations there. So then as the Hindus were fleeing, were they selling the land, or they just
It was
abandoned
very, yeah,
or
of
taking
course.
by
No, no, that I didn't see. That just taking by force. It happened in 71 though,
yeah.
right? But in those days, late 50s, early 60s, they were trying hard to sell their lands, and they used to sell by very low price.
Whatever they get.
And I heard one thing from my Chittagong friend, who was living very close to this Saka Chaudhuri's family, right? Saka Chaudhuri used to tell his cadets that don't buy their land. They will just give it to you and go.
Yeah, but somebody even in Kishoreganj told me that I buy, you will get it free.
Yes, you will get it free.
What about in 71? Where are you? Do you have any recollection of 71?
71 was a disaster on Hindus.
And what about your family?
Oh, my father was at that time the ADC of Rajshahi division. Running around. My sisters went to village. I went to the different places. About 1971, my personal life in 1971, I am very tight-lipped. I have never told it to anyone what I did, but I was a student leader.
Okay.
I was the vice president of Student League in Dhaka College, 64, 66, and all along university from 66 until 70 under Tufail Bhai, Rajak Bhai, Makhun Bhai.
So, yeah, just to make sure for others, League means it's a student wing of the pro-independence army.
Yes.
So that's I just want.
And the whole movement was driven by students.
Yeah. So what? And your family were scattered all over.
Oh yes.
So when did you? How did they survive?
In the village.
Village.
In the village, yes.
And your father was still getting salary from at least somebody.
Yes,
to be able to support.
He was.
And but they stayed in the village. They all along.
Yes.
What was any of your friends and relations' lives were at stake?
Oh yes, my uncle. My uncle was killed. My cousins were killed. Our home was ransacked by Biharis.
Okay.
Ransacked,
So
destroyed.
Urdu-speaking, Hindi-speaking Muslims
yes.
who migrated to India.
And who were collaborating with Pakistani army.
Yeah. And in Natur, or that time they were living somewhere else?
No, in Rajshahi.
Rajshahi. Yeah. A city itself?
Yeah, Rajshahi is the capital of Rajshahi district.
Yeah. So as it's a 9-month struggle. It went on for all of you. So did you know what your family were, or were you able to keep in contact with
Not
each
always.
other?
Not always.
Not always.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was hiding, I was running, I was in different places.
Different places.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened then after you saw your house was burned down? And how did you remake it? Did you get any help from the government?
No. But by that time, it was so common. It was so common that Bihari would loot houses, properties, shops. It was so common. So why ours would be any different?
Yeah. So, but how were you able to rebuild it?
Slowly. I mean, after 1971, after that, I went to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Got a good job.
Okay.
And I could help.
Okay.
I could help.
So remittances from there and other family members pulling together.
Yes.
So now when people call you home, is it Rajshahi or Dhaka or Natur?
Actually, we sold the property of Rajshahi, so we are not. I cannot say my
You are
root
not
is.
tied
Yeah.
there.
So, but the village in Bogra, it is our ancestors' home.
So is there somebody still living?
Yes,
your
yes,
relations?
Yes.
So when was the last time you visited? Sorry.
16 years ago.
Okay.
And your next question will be why? Because I was declared atheist and Jews agent against Islam. I was declared by none but Matiur Rahman Nizami, the Amir of Jamaat Islam, twice, and it was always in the newspapers. So my brothers, sisters, my wife, my children, they are dead against my going there. Although I want to go, but
absolutely.
everybody, my brothers, sisters who were there, They say, we are talking in the Skype, we are seeing each other, we are connected.
No.
So why should you take the risk? And one lunatic is enough.
Yeah, right. I mean, somebody with a gun can
Enough,
just,
yes.
yeah, I mean, I understand that.
But I will go one day, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. No. I'm coming to the end. Have you ever gone to West Bengal, the other part of Bengal?
In 1971, I went to Calcutta for 7 days.
That's it.
I went to Murshidabad for 2 days, and then I went to Calcutta.
Okay. So when you go there, do you feel it still is a Bengali area?
In Calcutta?
Yeah.
At that time, yes. That is the cultural capital of Bengal as a whole.
So have you ever thought why, for example, Muslims are minority in West Bengal, but they have been able to stay? Hindus are majority, but in Bangladesh, Hindus are minority, Muslims are majority. We belong to the same culture, same people, but they have not been able to stay. That they have migrated. They had to move to West Bengal a lot. Why is this contradiction?
Because Muslims are better in India. They are not under threat, the same threat as Hindus of Bangladesh are. And please add to that another factor, that the radical Islamists know very well that Hindus do not vote for them. So they want Hindus to go.
To driven out.
To be driven out, yes.
Yeah. So, but then that brings to the other question. So then why secularists are not trying to hold them on to them and punish
No,
the
we
radicalists?
do. Our secular forces, when there is a danga or riot, our secular force go and guard the...
True. But then they do not penalize them so that those...
That's the government.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I'm talking about the parties. That those who depend on them, why don't create those examples that we are punishing these thugs?
It's very sad. Awami League is a failure in this.
Okay. Or yeah, because it's a. To other people say it's like self-preservation. One does it to preserve yourself, to preserve your
True.
power.
Awami League, recently Awami League reconstructed some broken temples, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
Punishing the criminals and clearing the psychology of the people. That is important.
And reparation, I would say. Yeah. That means people whose everything is gone over a stroke, they cannot rebuild this overnight.
No.
I mean, because Bengal was partitioned, did anybody benefit? East Bengalis, West Bengalis, Hindus, Muslims, rich, poor, did anybody? I'm focusing on Bengal first.
I do not believe so.
Anybody.
Bengal should have been one unit.
Okay. So I'm almost to the end. Have you? You just told me you have been oppressed. That you feel insecure. Your brothers and sisters think you should not come home because you're an activist. In addition to that, were you ever persecuted, or did you ever feel persecuted?
Oh yes. I am under death threat back home and in Canada as well. The first Sharia court in the whole Western world was established in Toronto in 1991. We came to know about it in 2003. From Muslim Canadian Congress. We started a huge movement along with Canadian Council of Muslim Women. We joined together against the Sharia court, and there was another Irani group. We were very tiny little compared to the Sharia supporting group. They controlled all of 27 mosques of Toronto plus, and the newspaper and media, they had money. So we struggled a lot. At that time, I was the director of Sharia law of Muslim Canadian Congress. I went to the parliament with Sharia books and told the MPs running that you are deciding about Sharia law, what do we know about it? They said, we don't. I said that, is it a Canadian issue? It's not. It's a global issue. From Morocco to Indonesia, our civil society is corroding. Radicals are getting stronger. If you allow this Sharia code to continue, in whole Muslim world, the radicals would put this example as a trump card on the nose of progressive secular forces. And they would claim that, see, a country like Canada established God's law, what you are talking about. And we would have no answer. Anyway, to make it short, ultimately, after struggling hard for nearly 3 years. We succeeded in convincing our government to repeal that law.
Okay.
By passing a new law to repeal that law. So the Canadian Sharia code became history forever.
Okay, that's
At
very
that
big
time,
achievement.
I was under heavy death threat as the director of Sharia law of Muslim Canadian Congress.
Yeah.
Canadian intelligence came to me, my house, and we discussed about the issue.
Okay. So I'm just in the end. Is there anything else that you like to add that I did not ask?
Well, about one Bengal, unit Bengal, if we recollect Sharad Bose and Sarwardi, they were trying so much for one united Bengal, right? And actually, in original Lahore resolution, it was stated that states will be created with Muslim majority areas, states. Later, they deleted that S, and when Jinnah was asked about it, that the original proposal was about creating states, here one and there one. Why it is one now? Jinnah said it was a typing mistake.
Of course, our Fazlul Haq proposed that
He read the proposal only.
Yeah. So all right. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.